I'm gonna get this
Probably
high value target
Yeah, that's fine.
because we need to know.
I've got
weapons
4
now.
players on me. Down
Nice.
one. Hello viewers, and today I've got another loadout that you can use in Warzone, or should I say should be using, because this NZ-41 is an absolute beaming machine. Thanks to those 10 attachments, I can really focus on making a weapon adhere to a certain playstyle, and I've made a fairly aggressive medium to long range assault rifle. It's super easy to use, and even if you're just using this weapon for the first time, you really won't have a hard time controlling the recoil because it pretty much isn't there. The NZ actually has really nice initial firing recoil. If anything, the first 5 to 8 bullets maybe pretty much don't have any recoil at all, and then the recoil does start to pick up ever so slightly. But by the time you've got those 5 to 8 bullets already well and truly buried in the enemy, they're pretty much going to be very weak anyway. And so before I break down those attachments for you and show you the gameplay, just showcasing just how good this NZ is, it would be amazing if you could consider subscribing to the channel. I try and upload videos like this every single day, and if that sounds like your cup of tea, then the best way that you can make sure that you don't miss a future video is by subscribing to the channel. If you want to see some gameplay for this weapon, then stick around after my little attachment breakdown, but also my upload from yesterday is also showcasing this NZ-41 if you would like to see some additional gameplay. But anyway, if you just want to jump straight into Warzone, then feel free to pause the video now because these are the attachments that I am using. And so, starting off in the muzzle attachment slot, I'm using the MX silencer, which is obviously, as well as providing that all-important sound suppression, will reduce the vertical recoil, which is a great help for when that recoil suddenly starts after, as I mentioned, those 5 to 8 bullets. It's not going to be too much of a surprise during the recoil pattern as you're sort of anticipating it, I suppose. And to pair with that quite nicely is the Orb Weaver 360mm barrel in the barrel attachment slot, which is essentially the long range barrel. There is actually a burst barrel that you can use for the NZ, but that is a completely different loadout in my opinion. But anyway, this full auto long range barrel, the Orb Weaver, is a great addition to any sort of beaming build that you really want to try and make. With those first 2 attachments mainly focusing on the vertical recoil of the weapon, we also want to make sure that the left and right deviation of the end of the barrel during full auto fire isn't too annoying, because that is a lot harder to control than vertical recoil. And so in the underbarrel attachment slot, I'm using the M1930 Strife angled grip, which will obviously tighten up that horizontal bounce and keep the weapon recoiling nice and straight. Something that people really like to have in weapons that absolutely beam the enemy is a nice and high fire rate. Thinking along the lines of the Cooper carbine, people are using the compressed rounds to increase that fire rate as much as possible. And I'm doing something similar with the magazine attachment slot here. I'm using the 8mm Klauser 40 round mag, which will supposedly decrease the damage and the damage range, but I haven't really noticed that at all, to be honest. But it will reduce the recoil and increase the fire rate, which means that for those medium to long range targets, we're going to have a much easier time tracking them when we've got that trigger well and truly flat to the guard. And to make beaming even better in the ammunition attachment slot, I'm using the lengthened ammunition for a huge boost to bullet velocity, and to help it even more, I'm using the G16 2.5 times scope optic. This means I can be sort of, competitive in those medium to long range engagements with that nice clean sight, but it's not so magnified that I'm going to be completely out of the running in the short range engagements, as you will see in the gameplay that I've got for you. And to really top off that vertical recoil and make it as easy as possible to beam an enemy, I am using the rubber grip in the rear attachment slot. You can actually, if you do want, use the polymer grip, which will focus on accuracy and recoil control during sustained fire, but it is really up to you. I just found that the rubber grip really worked for me. And for the final physical attachment, I'm using the Lor Mark 3 SC stock, which does actually focus on accuracy during sustained fire, and if you mount, it pretty much eliminates all of the recoil of the weapon, and so I think that stock is actually really good. There is also another one, I think it's called the Orb Weaver or something, which is sort of an overall boost to recoil control. But if you do like being mounted on things, then this stock is definitely the way to go. And in the perk attachment slots, I'm using acrobatic, so I can be a little bit more agile, higher movement speed and sprint speed, because obviously I'm adding quite a bit of weight to the weapon with the extended barrel and things like that. And because the fire rate is higher, the amount of ammunition we're using is going to dwindle that a little bit quicker. And so in perk 2, I'm using fully loaded. But anyway, let me know if you do give this weapon a go. It would be great to hear down in the comments weapons that you do want to see in future videos, as well as maybe improvements to this weapon. This isn't by no means the best way to use it. I just found that it is definitely a good way to use it. But anyway, let me know if you give it a go nonetheless. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the gameplay.
Oh. Oh, I can... Getting someone there.
Yeah,
On your waypoint.
they're all over that. They're about here.
I've marked our
Okay.
destination.
That's where you used to get more money for doing those supplies.
They've got nothing then.
Oh, he's on the loadout,
I
Charlie.
found one of them.
Did you? You must have gone down as he went inside the place. There's a car coming, Charlie. Save one for the... Shit.
I hit him.
I downed him. There's still one up.
Bloody hell.
Victory rests on your shoulders.
One deaded
Finish
me
the
and
mission.
one shot. I was dead. Oh my god, they're sweaty in that barn, George.
Yep. I'm
Very
literally right
sweaty.
between them. This is not good. I feel like they're right next to me and I can't see them. Oh no.
They're not going to be able to see you if you stay still.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Now they are. I bottled it.
You're using a good class then, are you?
I haven't got my loadout yet.
Who's is that, Brent?
It's a floor loot one.
Oh.
You're gonna have to absolutely just... Oh, sorry. Do you reckon you'll be able to get your thing? I think you could if you got the car as well.
Oh, miles away.
Oh, for God's sake. I've got players on me now as well.
God's sake. I'm gonna get this
Probably
high value target
Yeah, that's fine.
because we need to know.
I've got
weapons
4
now.
players on me. Down
Nice.
one.
Positive ID on the bounty target. Sort them out.
He's way up there.
Oh shit! I thought you was right close.
I think one of them might be. But there's two up there, I've just seen them. Do you need armor?
On
On the right, in there,
roof.
in there.
Yeah.
I just heard it, 100% heard someone in there. Yep, right on me now. Well done. seen one.
Gas is
It's
inbound.
because I had combat scout, I was shooting through the building. There's a player over there.
I got movement. I got
No,
movement.
no.
I
Over
got
there.
movement.
Yep. We'll just get running a little bit, get a circle first.
Yeah.
I haven't got very good guns with them, so.
No, I'm assuming there's going to be people in these windows or near that shop.
Yeah, here.
Being tracked by an enemy team. Stay sharp.
Oh shit, I've got no
That
ammo
top,
left.
that top left window. Oh yeah.
Oh, he's just sniped me.
Why did? For God's sake. Orange, Charlie.
Yeah.
We're out of time. Scrub the
Right on us.
contract.
Did you just smash the door, or was that someone else?
That was me, that was me.
Okay, I'm coming upstairs.
I haven't even got my loadout.
This
Feel free
M1
to
bazooka
fly.
does not fly straight whatsoever.
Enemy dropping into the
He's dropped in on me, he's on me.
Guy
he's on
just
me.
dropped in, yeah. Okay, I'm looking.
Oh my god, that was close.
Well done.
Jesus. He's down
Nice,
in
there's
there.
two in
He's
there.
down in there.
Gas is closing in.
Please fly straight. Yes! I got two. They're both down, Charlie.
God damn it.
On the shot. How did that not do any damage?
Enemy
There's
dropping
2 or
into
3
the
teams in.
AO.
I dropped him in on me.
He's in that house, but there's 2 more in there down. I got the assist. He's killed him.
Yep.
I've only got 1 spare mag now.
You know. Come in here, Judge. And then I've got munitions down.
Yep. Oh yeah, you have. Please don't break. Where have you put it? Oh bloody hell, Charlie! There's still 8 teams left. At least we've got the height advantage.
He's still in that window.
Oh yeah, I see him.
RPG to shit. I can shoot this AS-55 so straight. It's
I've just
so
hit him.
funny. I'm mounted now, so I'm literally gonna beam him as soon as he comes in that window. There's still 14 teams left, 12 teams left.
Yeah, 6
Oh,
teams now.
Sorry,
Only 10
I know what you
remain.
mean.
Nearly done.
in that window still.
Gas is closing in. New safe
Got
zone.
him.
Nice. Should we rush? Rush it, George.
Friendly loadout drop on the way.
Grenade out! Stun out!
He's stunned in there.
Tear gas.
I just jumped out, I think, Charlie. I don't know where he is.
Well, we've got advance. No, they're still in here.
Stuff
Got
here, look.
somebody
They're
on
still in here.
There's a
Stun out!
stunning. There's a truck coming. Got one rocket left.
Down.
Nice. Oh god, down the hill. I'm fully dead. Oh,
KIA.
camping in the house just below. They've just
Yeah, I
got into
see.
it. Just now.
I'm stuck now. I need to take care of these before I can.
Enemy cluster strike incoming.
It's just clustered me. Ah, sorry.
Good hard out. Turn the
Oh, he absolutely beat me with that Cooper carbine there. Oh, that was a good game. Oh, how did we do then? Ah, I got 3k damage. Jesus.